The Euros are exactly 1 week away, well, at the time of recording. One of the top 3 contenders to actually win the trophy this year are England. Just like every year, we tip them to win, and it never happened. Even Czechoslovakia have won more Euro trophies than England. England's first game is at the Veltins Arena against Serbia. What an exciting fixture, to be honest. I reckon that will be I'd say maybe 4-1 win for England. The second game is more up north at the Deutsche Bank Park, where England are going to be facing Denmark in the second match day of this tournament. And then we also have the third match day, which will be England versus Slovenia. Let's just quickly go over their Euro qualifiers so that we can get an idea of how good they were in these last 12 months. So in their group of the Euro qualifiers, they had Italy, Ukraine, Malta, North Macedonia. In the first match day, England comfortably beat Italy 2-1 while also getting a red card. In the second match day, an easy 2-0 win over Ukraine, followed by a 4-0 win over Malta. England were looking pretty dominant, but they were about to look even more dominant against North Macedonia, where they won 7-0. This was followed up by an exhilarating draw against Ukraine, 1-1. Fair enough. Zinchenko struck pretty early into the game in the 26th minute, but then just before halftime, Kyle Walker equalised, and that's how the game stayed. And then after 2 qualifiers which followed, which one of them was a 1-0 win over Australia and the other one was something I don't remember, England faced Italy, the team that beat them in the Euro 2020 finals. I probably should not be bringing that up, to be fair. An easy 3-1 win. England followed this up in matchday 9 of 10 with a 2-0 win over Malta. North Macedonia won, England won. The England players came into North Macedonia looking like, oh yeah, this is going to be an easy 6-0 win. Enes Bardi, if you don't know who that is, he used to play for ex-La Liga side Levante, a CM. I remember him from FIFA back in 2019. He struck in the 41st minute, and the only goal that England got was actually an own goal by Yanni Atanasov. Wow. I'm sure you can guess that England comfortably finished first in their Euro qualifiers group. No problems at all, and they did get a pretty easy group in the Euros, to be fair. On the 23rd of March, England played against Brazil, which Brazil did end up winning 1-0, with Endrick scoring, the cold 16-year-old or 17 years old. I'm not sure how old he is, but I know he's going to Real Madrid. Him and Mbappe and Bellingham and Vinicius. And then England v Belgium. I mean, England can't even beat Belgium anymore. A struggling Belgium side, 2-2. Okay, so as I am reading out all the confirmed players who are going to Germany to represent England, all 26 players, you can see my predicted lineup behind me. So the 3 goalkeepers selected, Pickford. I mean, that's pretty obvious, and I actually have put him in my starting 11 because, Pickford has been incredible for England. Even for Everton, great goalkeeper. Then we also have Ramsdale and Henderson, which Ramsdale I'm pretty surprised because he hasn't really played much at Arsenal this season, and Henderson hasn't really played much either. For the defenders, we have Walker, who I think is going to start half the games, but maybe mostly Trippier is going to be playing. With Gomez and John Stones, who just won his, another Premier League title with Man City, I can say. We'll have Duncan Guay on the bench, but Guay is still pretty good. And Konsa as well will play a few games. And Luke Shaw at left back, no questions about that. We have the absence of Harry Maguire, which is pretty shocking, to be fair. In the midfield, I think we'll see a mixture of Alexander-Arnold possibly could play in that CM position along with Gallagher. Actually, no. Instead of Alexander-Arnold, we'll say Bellingham. My bad. Bellingham with Declan Rice CDM and Conor Gallagher CM, yeah. And then we'd have Mainu, Alexander-Arnold, Wharton and Eze on the bench. And in the attack, I think Harry Kane is going to be starting. I don't think there's any questions about that. Ivan Toney has returned from his suspension after, of course, betting. I think he's going to be on the bench. So will Ollie Watkins, but I think Ollie Watkins deserves to play some games this Euros. He's been brilliant for Aston Villa. Gordon and Jared Bowen are 2 players that are similar to Conor Gallagher or something. I think they'll get a few games, and I think they'll get a few games, but I don't think they're going to make much of an impact. And now we have Foden, Cole Palmer, and Saka left. I think Saka has to go in the right wing position. And then out of Foden and Palmer, I think Foden is going to play more often, so I'm going to put Palmer on the bench. But Palmer will still get a few appearances. Another shock absence, by the way, if you didn't realise, is Jack Grealish, who's had a pretty not so good run of games, form, but I think he'll be back in the World Cup in 2026. How far do you think the three lions are going to get? I believe they're going to lose in the semi-final to somebody like France. Let me know in the comments. Is it coming home?